When people talk about getting paid just to hold a stock, they're usually talking about dividends. And while dividends might seem simple at first glance, there's a timing game behind them, one that can decide whether you actually get paid or not. A dividend is basically a portion of a company's profits that's paid out to shareholders. Companies that are stable and consistently profitable often use dividends to reward investors. But to actually receive that payout, there are four important dates to understand: the declaration date, the ex-dividend date, the record date, and the payment date. First, the declaration date. This is when the company officially announces how much they'll pay per share and sets the timeline for the other key dates. For example, they might say they're paying $0.50 per share and give an ex-dividend date 2 weeks out. Then comes the ex-dividend date, and this one's crucial. You have to own the stock before this date to qualify for the upcoming dividend. If you buy on or after the ex-dividend date, you won't get the payout. Instead, the seller keeps it. That's why stock prices often dip slightly on the ex-dividend date. The value of that dividend gets priced out. Next is the record date. This is when the company checks its shareholder list to officially determine who gets the dividend. If you owned the stock before the ex-dividend date, you'll be on record and eligible to receive the payout. Finally, there's the payment date. This is when the dividend is actually paid, either as cash in your account or automatically reinvested if you're enrolled in a DRIP or dividend reinvestment plan. Here's a quick example. A company declares a $1 dividend on May 1. The ex-dividend date is May 10th, the record date is May 11, and the payment date is May 25. If you buy the stock on May 9 or earlier, you'll get the dividend. But if you buy it on May 10 or later, you miss it. A lot of investors time their buys carefully around these dates, especially the ex-dividend date, to make sure they qualify for payouts. But chasing dividends alone isn't always a winning strategy. Stock prices often adjust down by about the dividend amount on the ex-dividend date, so there's no free money. What makes dividends powerful isn't just timing, it's consistency and compounding. Reinvesting dividends can grow your position without adding new capital. Over years, that compounding effect can quietly build serious wealth. Understanding these four dates gives you more control and clarity over how and when you get paid. Dividends might not be flashy, but they're one of the most reliable ways investors build long-term income.